Well, welcome back to finals day at the OI Rio Pro. Brad Bricknell here alongside former big wave world champion Pete Mel. Pete, we're into, the absolute business end of the draw in one of the most exciting matchups of the whole event. Filipe Toledo up against Julian Wilson.
See, up and riding this is live action.
Filipe Toledo has been on a tear today so far, winning through into the semi-final. Combination of power turns there, using the rail. Here's Filipe Toledo on that opening exchange up against Julian Wilson, current world at number one.
Watch priority there with Filipe Toledo, and of course this is what's also so deadly about Filipe is that he is one of those guys that's not going to necessarily focus on just going to the air, because he has the ability to put big numbers up off the rail there, and he's not going to force the issue. If he gets a section though, watch out. Exactly what it is a full keeper, because you only have three other servers that are going to get at least one other server has equal number, and then two have a little bit higher. But again, when you get to the semifinals, it's the final and the wins. I mean, if he really wants to truly set himself apart, a win here would be gigantic.
Fired up Ezekiel out. Now we're back to live pictures. Julian Wilson on the inside with second priority. He's winding up down the line, goes for the rotation, but just has to push the eject button halfway through that one, Pete Mel.
Well, and if you're looking at Julian Wilson, I think we were touching on the advantages. I feel like that Julian has the ability to surf the barrel very, very well. I feel like he is going to be better of the two surfers in this barreling section.
You're right. Let's have a look now as Filipe Toledo has found a good-looking wall on the inside section, setting up the tubia. He's nice and, well, I was going to say he was deep. He was on the foam ball, but didn't get quite deep enough in that section. But now goes to the air for a very snappy air rotation through the inside section. He's not done yet. We see him do this in the opening here of the day, the quarterfinal. Just goes down that last turn. But your view on that one, Pete?
He rotates out of it, lands all the way around, sets this barrel up with the stall off the bottom turn, does disappear for a moment, and then this section here, going for the variety, showcasing that barrel, and then going into the air. So nice work here from Filipe. He's seen the scores that have posted today. He's been paying attention, and he knows that if he can get that early, scores on the books, that allows him to free up. As you see, gosh, he is so good at keeping his board. He knew the wind right there, right?
Qualified late last year in Hawaii. Let's have a look now as Julian Wilson drops into this one. It's a beautiful looking wall. Snap into the pocket there from Wilson. A lot of power in that turn. Now looks for the little barrel section. It's going to close out on him. And it's going to squash him right into that little sandbank, the shallow part of the wave there, Pete Mel.
Beautiful first turn, though. I mean, the setup that, loaded up off the bottom, one of the best bottom turns in the business, just springs into action, and timing is impeccable. Snake just constricting him, not able to get out of the hole. But look at this turn here. It just lays into it. Such great technique. I mean, he sees the opportunity. Unfortunately, they didn't let him out.
Toledo driving on the outside now. It's just going to be tube time. It's a quick let of shade there for Toledo. And a second section on the inside. Now he's going to go to the air, rotates, and he lands out cleanly. Ladies and gentlemen, Filipe Toledo is on fire in Rio.
That's right. Look at that. I mean, we saw this when he won in Rio at the beach at Barra de Tijuca. He is a showman. He loves it, and he's got this crowd fired up. And exactly on top of this, this is where the crowd is going to play into Julian Wilson.
Look at you on the replay.
Yeah, and this one ran the entire bank here. He had to put that pedal down the entire way here. See how his board, he puts it up in his feet, so he's flying through it, and somehow, look at, he just keeps it together. That's the wind right there. He knew exactly which direction the wind was going. He put his board directly in it, and he is one of the best at knowing the conditions and adjusting to be able to do those airs. I mean, even in offshore conditions, he knows there's the wind, and that just helped him to loft him up. It actually gave him the extra hang time. And this is going to be a number, and he's going to have a significant lead over Julian Wilson.
There he goes now, answering back on the outside. He's going to go to the air. No, he doesn't. That section not really allowing much room for Wilson to move.
Well, that's what, Julian's had the right mindset there. You know what? I'm going to quiet this crowd somehow.
Straight back.
Exactly. I'm going to catch anything that moves here, so I want to showcase my talents. He needs a 5-3-4 to get out of that combo, which would be kind of the small goal. But getting an excellent wave score is what he really wants to do.
Goal number one for Julian now is to do what Pete Mel has just said. He's found a nice little barrel over here. Now he's going to go to the float. Big tail drop floater. He's got to ride out of this one to take the advantage, and unfortunately just couldn't complete.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there for Julian. Seemed like that could have been an opportunity. There's this wave again, the wind getting a little bit stronger, but what it does is it opens up the barrels. A little bit of time behind the curtain there, and the big float. And right there, you can see when you have that floater section, you're flying with all that speed. one of the ways to get over the explosion is to hop off of it. You see, he tries to do that right there, tries to pop off of it, but he still landed in the explosion. He's out of there and now going again.
Yeah, finding one on the inside here, a smaller inside wave, but he's got a lot of speed. He's coiling up, goes for the big rotation as well, but just lands on the back of the wave there.
Trying to go a little extra big.
It's a cracking matchup on paper. At this time, though, Wilson looking for that combination of scores. Outside now for Julian. He's under priority. He's just taking a look to see if there might be an opportunity on the inside there. Toledo now with priority on the outside. It's a great looking wall ahead of him. Straight looking for that barrel. No opportunity. Kicks out in front of Wilson. He's going to try and maintain that priority.
Yeah, let's see how that unfolds. I mean, right there, he saw Julian punching through. Looks to me like Julian will get priority over Filipe, considering Filipe just rode a wave. Yes, he is a title contender.
Well, that's what I wanted to mention with regards to Julian Wilson. As we have a look here, live pictures, Toledo, second priority in and out. You look at those events like Chopu and Pipeline. Those are two events that Wilson has already won before.
Able to get those scores needed right now to keep him in this heat.
Back to live pictures, out of the barrel, into the air. It seems like the go-to approach from Filipe Toledo. One of his strong points certainly is his combinations on maneuvers, though, Pete.
To get himself into this heat and get out of combo.
This was the replay of Toledo's wave. Didn't quite connect on this air like the first couple, Pete.
Yeah, yes, he's underneath. Gets everything right. The nose, just that little dip of the nose, slows him down, takes the board out. You would have to say that Ezekiel probably a little better in the air, although both surfers can do it.
Here we go, Toledo under priority. Late drop into the pocket here, looking for the barrel. He's deep. He's standing tall. He's driving through the barrel, and he's out. Toledo salutes the crowd.
And then quickly tries to rotate it back. Look at this one here, though. See the wedge across for the reef. He gets over the ledge and then is in the barrel. You know, we did see his board the entire time, but that wave's so intense and the length that he was in that barrel, I feel like this is going to be better than the 6.67. Look at that, just casual as can be. And, of course, he is a good tube rider as well. You know, you can't count him out. He's super talented. He has been putting in his time on all the other waves, too.
2 minutes remaining now. Look at on the outside. Big alley-oop attempt from Julian Wilson. Just goes down for him. 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Toledo is having the time of his life out here. One of the crowd favorites has made it into the final. Wade Carmichael up against Zeke Lau next. 14 seconds remaining. Julian Wilson can be happy with this result, though, Pete.
He can. This is, I mean, he's going to be carrying that yellow Jeep leader's jersey into Bali. That's guaranteed with Gabriel Medina going out in this event. But this man right here with this final is going to rocket up the rankings because in a big way.